Would you rather be the employer or the employee? Well, in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly why 95% of Americans would rather be the employee instead of the employer. What's going on, guys? I want to talk about a very important subject today. Would you rather be the employer or the employee? Well, I mean, nowadays there's so many people that really don't know how to bring value to the marketplace. And what is value? I mean, well, you have to think of it like this. We're paid for what we bring to other people's lives. So let's look at somebody who's working at McDonald's. When they're making somebody's food, they're bagging it up and they're giving it to the consumer. They're not bringing much value. They're not helping someone really get further in life. And people will work at McDonald's and they want these amazing lifestyles of somebody who is rich and famous or whatever it may be, but they're not bringing enough value to the actual marketplace. And there's somebody that's a business owner that's helping thousands of people get a little further in life, maybe helping them make money, and he's being paid for the value that he brings. And that's just like me in my business. I've realized that throughout my business, I'm paid based on how hard I work. I'm not paid on an hourly wage. And in any job that you guys are going into, you need to realize that you're paid based on how hard that you work. You're limited to a certain amount of money that you can make, a certain amount of effort that you can bring to one person's life. So I mean, I looked at going into a job like Rouse, Coles. I was actually about a couple of years ago looking for a job. My dad and me, we were fighting. We didn't really have a good relationship, and he told me, like, Colt, the thing that you should do is go look for work. I was 18 years old at the time, and I obviously was trying to figure out my life, what I was gonna do, and I really didn't have a set goal or plan. So my dad suggested that I go get work. I was obviously hesitant. I didn't want to do that. For the longest time, I was actually looking for a job at retailers like Coles. I remember I applied for Rouse, and I actually failed the drug test and got so desperate to a point that I put an ad on Craigslist, guys. And then through that ad, I actually met someone by the name of Marvin Jones. They introduced me to a network marketing opportunity. I took action on it immediately. They had a really good product, but I ended up getting involved in a business. And I realized that I'm paid based on how hard I work, because when you go and work at a job, you're given a time that you have to come in. You're given a certain amount of hours that you work. You're given a budget that you're gonna be making on an hourly wage. So I looked at that whole system and I kind of questioned it and was like, I don't know if I really want to do that. Be told by someone when to work, how to work, and what to do for work. So after I got that, after I failed the drug test, like I said, put that ad on Craigslist and got introduced to a whole nother way of living life. Obviously at the time I didn't have any job experience. I hadn't even worked one job in my life, so I immediately jumped into the whole business industry. And when I was growing up, guys, my dad, he already had that business. He was running from home. He had that business mindset. So I eventually grew onto that. I saw him closing deals on the phone for his company, and it just grew on me. Now it's something that I do on an everyday basis. What you need to do is ask yourself if you really want to be working at that job, because most people literally shoot themselves in the foot on their way to work every morning. They're going to jobs they hate, and they bitch and complain about their problems at their job, their manager, and all these things that go on during the job, and they don't do anything about it. They really think that bitching and complaining is equivalent to doing something. And that is so true, because when I go to maybe a fast food restaurant to get food real quick, the employees don't have a good attitude. They're not happy. They're not asking you, how was your day? How are you doing? Do you like need anything special for your order? I mean, if they mess up my order at most places, they're pretty rude about it, and they kind of blame the consumer for their problems that's going on at work. So also what I really notice as well is if someone's having a bad day, they're gonna still go to their job. They're probably not gonna treat their customers right. They're probably not gonna treat their fellow employees right, because they're mad. They're having a bad day. So by them having a bad day, it pretty much ruins everybody else's day. And I look around in the town that I live in, and I actually see kids at restaurants that I eat at from my high school. And I think for a second, I'm like, wait, so we have the same 24 hours in a day. We have the same opportunity. We have the same ability to do things that we want to do. So I'm over here making $20,000 a month all off my phone from my online business, and they're making a couple $1,000s a month from their job. Now, I don't think that they actually question the whole part of, am I gonna be paid for the value that I bring? Because you're only gonna be limited to making and bringing a certain amount of value to people on an everyday basis. So that's where I saw that in the whole system, and I was like, I don't know if this really makes sense. I'm not gonna go work for somebody else, one, two, because you guys are either gonna build your fortune or somebody else's. I obviously didn't wanna be told by someone what to do throughout my schedule, ruin my schedule, go to a place that I hate and pretty much become miserable. If you guys don't love what you do, you're gonna work until the day that you die. If you don't find a way to make your money work for you while you sleep, you're gonna work until the day that you die. That's what I love about my business. I can wake up to hundreds of thousands of dollars on an every morning basis. Why? Because I'm bringing value, just like this video, to individuals. They notice that I am not the average individual that is just gonna go settle for less, go work at a job. We all have the same ability to do whatever we want on an everyday basis. You can either choose, like I said, to be the employer or the employee. But at the end of the day, we all have the same ability to do whatever we want in life. You just have to make the choice to actually go out, put in the effort. Nowadays, in our generation, people are lazy. Even though we are in the digital age, everything is literally right here in front of us, but people aren't taking the opportunity. Why? Well, I see that kids nowadays growing up, a lot of them have a lot of the things handed to them in their life. When I went to high school, I'd see kids pull up in a brand new BMW, their parents' Porsche, and I would be like, so did you actually buy that, or did your parents basically just hand it to you? Because when I was growing up, after I turned 16 years old, my dad pretty much stopped giving me allowance money. He stopped buying me clothes. He stopped buying me food. I mean, he obviously fed me and clothed me to a certain extent, but if I wanted certain things, if I wanted 5 shirts in a day, I had to go work for it. So my dad actually disciplined me to get it on my own. Now when I'm 30 years old and I maybe am struggling, I'm not gonna be able to go back to my dad and be like, hey dad, do you think I could have $2,000 for rent? Where most people are gonna be able to do that with their parents, but with me, I'm not gonna be able to do that. So I'm pretty much dependent upon myself. I have to do it. I'm extremely blessed that my dad raised me that way. He disciplined me to know that I have to do it on my own. But you need to realize that people nowadays, they're pretty much lazy, even though the opportunity is here. Our generation is lazy. I see it on an everyday basis. So what you need to do is really ask yourself what you want to do with your life, because you going and working for somebody for 30 plus years of your life is not going to make you happy. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Most people are literally insane to the point where they commit suicide. They're so over living life, but they don't do anything about it. Like I said, they complain about their problems, and they think that complaining is equivalent to doing something, when realistically it's not. They're putting all their energy into complaining, and after they're done complaining, they don't have enough energy left to go and do something. Stop wishing it were easier, wish you were better. Once I heard that, my life completely changed. I stopped asking my dad for handouts. I stopped asking my dad for money. I stopped asking my dad for help, because it all starts and ends with you. At the end of the day, you're gonna be in your bed alone. It doesn't matter if you're in the same household as your parents, your grandparents. It all starts and ends with you. When you wake up the next morning, you are in your body. If you are 16 to 21 years old, let's say you're looking for work at this time in life, expand your options. Don't just listen to your parents that are telling you, go look for a job anywhere you want. Look for a job that you're gonna like, even if it is your first job. I never worked for somebody for my first job. I was a part of a business, a network marketing company. So there are a lot of things out there, especially online businesses. I know people are killing it in the e-commerce industry right now. I actually do forex. I have thousands of students that are absolutely killing it. I actually had a couple of my students quit their jobs the other day, and now they're making full-time income from trading forex. Isn't that crazy? These people have the ability to make money all off their phone. Well, if they have that ability, you need to realize that you have that same ability too. If I can do it, you can do it. If they can do it, you can do it. It all starts and ends with the belief in you. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody can believe in you. So take your time. Really genuinely ask yourself what you want to do with the time that is given you on an everyday basis. We all have 24 hours in a day. It takes 6 months to build a Rolls Royce, and it takes 16 hours to build a Toyota Corolla. You need to realize that it's gonna take time. Things aren't just gonna come overnight. And I see that all the time with people trying to start their business, trying to go into a new field. They don't get that result immediately, therefore they give up within a couple of days, a couple of weeks. You guys need to stay consistent. Consistency gains respect. Once you're consistent, it's like the snowball effect. That little snowball is gonna be like this, and it's getting like this, till it's like this, and you can't even push it anymore. It's gonna be so big, it's gonna be so profitable. You need to realize that you can do anything. So if you could subscribe below, like this video, comment something that you can relate to this video about, and I'll see you guys on the next video.